Hello and welcome to another Star Citizen podcast with your amazing, fantastic host, BoredGamer. That's me. And the lovely Zinnia. Say hello, Zin.
Hello, Zin. Am I not amazing?
You can be amazing, but you'd have to be the main host to be able to add all the describing words. So, things I want to talk about today. Intergalactic Aerospace Expo starts on Friday.
Ooh.
I know, right?
I've not been keeping track.
Well, there's not much to keep track of until it actually happens, I suppose. But, I mean, there's been a video, and we'll talk about it in a second. The Pyro Playground playtest, other P's involved there as well for more alliteration. That's come to an end, but only temporarily. And Alpha 3.21.1 is Wave 4 PTU at the moment. It might have gone open by the time this podcast comes out. And I just want to talk about all that. But we've been on holiday, haven't we?
We have. We
played board games. We ate nice food. And it was very nice.
It was very nice.
So basically, Zin and I, her partner, and a couple of our other mates. One of them may or may not work for CIG, if we can't possibly comment. We'll go on holiday occasionally, and it's nice. We could take like an Airbnb. We went to a new place. Similar to Centre Parks, and we chilled. We chilled out for a week.
Mm.
We've got a big one. We're going to have a big holiday in March because it's Sin's big birthday, and she's double digits. And
finally double digits.
Finally double digits, and also my birthday the day after because that's how.
But that's not as important.
Well, it's not this year. It's not. No, it's not next year's important. But the year after. It's my double-digit birthday.
Oh, yeah.
So if people don't understand what that means, we're 40 years old. I bet that there, because they're like, what?
Thanks,
what are you talking about? What? I got to say it now. Maybe you'll get more donations as well. They're like, oh, it's good to get seen money.
She's so old.
But I want to talk about the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, because that's what people are here for. They're not here to hear about how old we are. On the 17th, Friday, to the 30th, which is later in November, there's going to be the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, and it's lots of ships on sale. It's lots of ships to fly. It's a free to play experience as well. There's a load of stuff going on, but it's mostly focused on the Expo Hall at Tobin Expo Centre on New Babbage on Microtech, I believe, this year. And it looks more alien focused this year, and by that I mean that the first day is alien ships.
Okay.
Which normally means that there is a alien ship or that they're going to be sort of like releasing or showing. And we saw from the little trailer. Have you seen the trailer for IAE? Probably should have made you watch that.
No.
Okay, well, it's like a minute long. It's just like a minute. You watch it now.
That didn't seem worth it.
Okay, so in that little clip of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, there was a couple of like little quick sneak peeks at some things. Okay, one of them was a GATAC button, an alien button, a Xi'an button that people believe is a new GATAC ship that's going to be released at the first day of the IAE. There are more leaks to that. There was more leaked information which I've done in a separate video, but it could be the Fat Fury that we saw. It could be something else. There's lots of rumours and leaks of what it actually could be. But new GATAC ship, almost certainly. Do you think that's likely? Or do you think that we'll sort of just have to wait and see? Because leaks and rumours aren't always accurate.
I mean, so I think I found what you're talking about. It's like a sort of triangle with the corners trimmed down and the little symbol character.
There's also in the latest newsletter, there's a triangle motif as well, which looks like it might be a part of the ship.
So yeah, quite possibly.
Should we talk about the leaks or not? Should we avoid leaks here?
I mean, it's up to you.
You put spoilers. Put spoilers up on screen, Sin.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about them briefly, and then people can, when there doesn't say spoilers anymore, or we'll put a time skip. So people think this is the Sulen, which means
Sulen.
The Sulen, Syulen, and that it's going to be some sort of GATAC starter ship, potentially with 3 decks. And it was.
Wait, a starter ship with 3 decks.
I know. That was why you can't necessarily. That might be accurate, or it might have like a sub deck, or it might be like technically 3 decks or something. But it might not. It might just be a rumour. It might just be a leak that you've got to take with a bag of salt. Someone got very angry with me saying, take a bag of salt with this, because they're like, it's actually, it's a grain of salt. That's the saying. You idiot. I hate your English. I was like, I'm saying you've got to take it with lots of grains of salt. Hence a bag of salt. Because English language should never change. Right. So, do you think that's a possibility? Start a ship that's got 3 decks, or do you think that's a bit far-fetched?
Seems a bit far-fetched to have 3 decks. For a starter ship...
but it might not be a starter ship, it could be a 3-deck ship, it could be anything. But Gattac, probably Sulen, just because of how the leaks have been discovered. But we don't actually really 100% know what that ship is. I think it's going to be the Fat Fury, but who knows? RSI mining ship.
Yes.
Not technically a leak. We know that since last year, there was going to be an RSI mining ship. At CitizenCon this year, they said we'd learn more about that mining ship at the IAE, and people believe this to be the Arasta. An Arasta, if you don't know, Zin, because why would you know, is a ancient-ish device, or an ye oldie device for smashing silver and gold ore and ores like that. So almost certainly going to be the RSI Arasta mining ship, and it's supposed to be somewhere between the size of a mole and an Orion, which is quite a huge range of size.
Yes.
We don't know really where that lies, but again, that looks like it's going to be a concept ship that's going to go on sale during the IAE. Some people think it's going to be straight to flyable. Do you think it's possible that something that large could be straight to flyable without CIG sort of telling us about it more?
Yeah, probably.
You think it could be? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Normally you're the negative one. Normally you're old negative Zin that shoots down my ideas. Okay. It's a possibility then. If Zin says so, then maybe. And now going out of the realm of leaks and more into rumours and those pictures that were shown in that little trailer. Saw the Storm there.
Probably, yes.
There looks like there's like an AA variant of it. Or something that like, there's like a big square gun, which the Storm doesn't have. So I'm expecting the Storm to be released as part of 3.21.1 and the IAE, but also potentially there to be an AA variant of it as well, or an EMP variant. But that's just from those pictures. Again, there's very, very little to go on. There was the other interesting sort of picture that's in between all of those, in between the Storm and the Gattac ones. There's a picture of a Redeemer on the wall. Is that sort of Redeemer that's part of the banner? Is that indicating there's going to be a Redeemer variant? Because it's sort of like in the sneak peek section. Or is it just a shot that they chose because it looked cool? It could be nothing. It could just be a cool shot. Or it could be part of the sneak peeks and going, there's going to be a variant. What variant would that be? That's anyone's guess, because the ship's a gunship. But they could make, well, actually, one of the ideas for it was to be a dropship. We could make it a dropship variant. That would make a lot of people very happy, I suspect. But I suppose there's a lot of danger to be had when you're talking about leaks and rumours and stuff. They may not pan out the way you think they're going to be. They might not be anything what you expected. There might be none of that. It might not be it might not be a Storm with AA. There might not be any Redeemer variant. There might not be a new Gattac ship, although it very much looks like there's going to be a new Gattac ship. And we might not get the new RSI mining ship on sale. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff there. I'm really interested in seeing what they've got each day of the IAE. Every day there will be a new manufacturer on, loads of new ship sales, loads more to see in the expo hall there, which you can walk around and rent all the ships from. And we'll be covering that each day in some dedicated videos and a bit of a walk around and talking about what's available. Do you think we're going to see any Jax videos this year? Jax McCleary videos?
I hope so, but there's nothing here that says anything about that. Like, doesn't mention it at all. Doesn't even mention the Whitley's guide.
Doesn't even mention Rip Jax, does it? Like it did last year.
Yeah.
Because last year they basically showed up as you're not going to get Jax because he's dead. But then they went, ha! He's not. I hope they've got some cool media for it because it's kind of quite fun. It kind of works. It's a good way of demonstrating those new ships and vehicles, and they're a core part of the fun each year for me. Do you think it matters that they if they don't have it? He's like, it doesn't really matter as long as they show something, or you don't need any sort of additional media with this because really it's just for marketing.
I think they should have some form of Whitley's guide, even if it's not Jax McCleary.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I want something. I would like something. Do you think as well that CIG are going to smash funding levels from previous years? At the moment, CIG are, over this year, down about 2 to 3 million over what they previously had. But I think that after CitizenCon and with the IAE just about to go ahead, that they'll be able to smash past what they need to hit over what they did last year. Because I think there was 113 million I think they made last year. I think they're going to hit 125 million this year. Maybe not that much, but close. I think that all they've got to do to get even to where they are, where they were last year, is make 20 million. Do you think that's possible, or do you think actually sentiment for Star Citizen and buying digital spaceships is down?
I think it's probably heading up again now.
Yeah.
Given what they've done recently and their CitizenCon.
Yeah, okay. Do you think it's going to smash previous records, or do you think they'll just make the same amount they sort of make during a normal IAE?
I think either the same or more.
Okay.
I think they've probably got the attention of a lot of people who weren't that interested before.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't really a game.
And I suppose now they can try it for free during the IAE. I think every backer is effectively worth $90 to them. I mean, if you break it down how much each account has spent, it's $90. Obviously, a lot of accounts with nothing on. I suppose CIG are effectively just wanting to bring as many people as they can as prospective buyers for the future. But I would say with the IAE, don't need to buy anything. You can try Star Citizen for free, you can try all those ships for free, and if you want to play the game after that, you can buy a starter package and get everything in-game after that. And that was what I would recommend. If someone had an extra like $20 or $30 to drop on a game, do you think they should drop it on a better ship for Star Citizen, upgrade their account, or do you think actually just stay with the starters in? What's your sort of opinion on that?
Stay with the starter.
Stay with the starter. Yep. That's fair. And there's a lot of starters available to choose from, especially if there's any new starter ships that might turn up in the IAE as well.
Also, in my opinion, there's far better things to be spending $30 on.
Yeah, fair. Oh, that's something else that we didn't talk about. There's possibility for a Drake Cutter expedition, which would be sort of like a slightly more exploration-orientated cutter, sort of long distance, which, again, might be great as a starter. But yes, IAE, get involved with that. Watch our summaries of it. Play Star Citizen during that time. Get your friends involved, because why not? It's free. Free ships to try. And there'll be waves of Idris and Javelins and Krakens and stuff for sale as well, in very limited quantities on their appropriate manufacturer days. Basically, Cloud Imperium with limited hulls, like the Idrises and stuff, they say we only want a limited amount of them in-game based on population. Do you think it's fair for them to release a good amount each year? And do you think they're honest with the amount they release each year to be appropriate, like percentage of the population can have them? Or do you think they're just printing money?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Okay, I mean, it is all to fund the game, right?
Yeah. And also, it's not in-game at the moment, and who knows what the population will be like once they do release the game.
Yes, that's fair. And then when you can get them in-game, how is that going to affect how many people can get them, right? It's just sort of an interesting one. Zin!
Yes.
Pyro playtest's over.
Is it?
Yeah, so there's going to be more before the end of the year. That's what the plans are. They cut it short by about 4 days. They said, I think originally it was going to be until the 14th, but they went, actually, we only need data until the 10th now. We've got a lot of stuff, and they're going to be putting tons of fixes in and potentially more content, expanding out the Pyro play area, potentially different sort of spawn locations and stuff like that, new missions, and then running that test again. Because we only had a very limited amount of Pyro, so like half of it to play in. But you quite enjoyed your plays of it, right?
Yeah, it was all right for what it was.
Yeah, but it was basically just play area, right? It wasn't anything new other than a new area to explore, which made it fun and interesting. I think the only new sort of mechanic there was, well, a couple of mechanics, being able to do missions on space stations that you're actually at, which is very useful, and the flare stars, which last for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to disrupt your game for a while. I'm not sure if that's going to be great gameplay for everyone that's going, oh, now I have to hide for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it was. It was a good while.
It was.
But yeah, expect more playtests of that, wider audience for that as well in the future, and probably test a few more times before Christmas. So, yeah, get involved with that once you're able to. I was hoping it would go out to more and more people during the first playtest. It doesn't look like it's gone out to many more, if any more, during that first playtest. But Cloud Imperium will be able to action a load of fixes. It was quite buggy. That new play area was pretty buggy, especially seeing that it had no extra mechanics. It was pretty buggy for that and moderately unstable. But you'll also see the replication layer be tested, and then eventually, potentially early next year, the 2-system server meshing for static server meshing being tested. Because do you know how they're testing server meshing now? In with basically going, we're going to have Pyro and Stanton both on separate servers. And that's the first stage of static server meshing for them, before then dividing up each of those areas into more servers. But yeah, get involved with Pyro when you can. It's a shame that it's not currently available, but it will be again in the near future. Alpha 3.21.1.
Yes.
That's on the Open PTU at the moment. And that's got the IAE stuff in it as well, or at least some of it. So they're testing like the halls, and they're testing Siege of Orison, they're testing Jump Town. I think they're sort of testing all of those events. I haven't seen them doing tests for Xenothreat, but I really like Siege of Orison, and I really like Xenothreat, and I want them to work well. And that is what I'm looking forward to for end of year. Hopefully that we have being able to play great playthroughs of that. The Siege of Orison has changed a bit. They've sort of updated the locations and the land and the sort of landing zones and areas for that. So I do think that's going to be a big focus of 3.21.1. They've also enabled those platforms again around Orison, and there's loads more missions to do on them. So we'll be getting involved with that quite a bit as soon as we're able to, as soon as that builds live. It has been a bit buggy. It's been a bit unstable 3.21.1, and that's partly because of the ship scale tractor beams. Now, Zin, we are going to be playing with these a lot this week because I want to tow ships and mess around with ships. You can tow quite large ships or reasonable sized ships with the SRV and go into quantum with them. But there's loads of polish that Cloud Imperium need to do with this because they can be a bit buggy. They are trying stuff with legality of it at the moment, like what are you allowed to tractor beam and what are you not. Then at the moment they've gone, you can only tractor beam ships with their shields down. So yeah, that sort of makes sense. But you get a criminal rating if you don't own the ship or the ship's not in your party. Or I think if it's a proper derelict, it doesn't have an owner, that's fine as well. But obviously that's not ideal at the moment because really if someone asks you to help them, you don't want to have to worry about them not being in your party. I think they're going to do it so that it's a crime that you can push on someone if they do it. It says, do you want to prosecute them for this crime? But I'd prefer it if it was a permission where you go, someone's about to initiate a tractor on you, do you allow them to do it? And if it goes no, it tells the other person no, so they can decide whether to do it after that. Something like that. But other things you can do, lots of other ships have got tractor beams, like the Nomad and the C1 and things like that, and you can, on at least some ships and vehicles, use it quite effectively to load cargo and vehicles and things onto your ship. Do you think this is just going to cause an erratic, mad experience with people hitting each other with things, with these ship-scale tractor beams, trying to tractor everything? Do you think it's just going to be carnage, or do you think, actually, by Friday, they can get all this nailed down and have a polished experience, or at least a reasonable experience?
No idea. I'd like there to be carnage. I think it'd be hilarious.
Okay, you're up for carnage. The problem is with carnage, Sin, is carnage when there's new players. Does it diminish their experience? People like leaving traps for them, cargo traps, dropping cargo on their head from orbit. Because there's probably a ton of stuff that you can do with tractor beams that is silly, that might not get you a criminal rating, but will potentially give someone else a criminal rating that doesn't deserve one, or destroy them from just dropping cargo on them, just grabbing their ships and moving them around, and just it could be carnage, it could be fun, but yes, during the IAE, I'm worried that people are going to work out ways of tractor beaming those ships out of the expo hall, things like that.
I think it'll be hilarious.
Okay. You're welcoming the carnage.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll be covering it, whatever. I'm hoping they have a couple of ships with tractor beams in weird positions at the IAE, then they've forgotten to disable the tractor beam. So I can, in the IAE hall, I can just be moving other ships around. Oh, that'll be fun. But I'm sort of interested to know what other people think of that. What's your 3.21.1 experience been like? does need a bit of polish. I'm hoping that Cloud Imperium can do that before the IAE starts, because that's what that 3.21.1 patch is for. And was it? I can't believe you want the carnage. You're a monster.
I think it'll be hilarious.
Well, let's hope so. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about, to be honest, Sin. We're prepping for the IAE. We're going to be playing some 3.21.1. We'll be messing around with tractor beams, and you can catch all of that sort of Star Citizen news and more as it happens on the channel. So also watch our dedicated video on the ship leaks and rumours, so that you can have us talk about all of that in some sort of detail, and tell us what you'd like to see at the IAE. Are you going to be purchasing anything? Is there anything you want at the IAE, Sin? Have you seen the purple skins and armours? Because I think they're up your street.
I haven't seen them, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, I will share them with you. I think they're all leaks, actually.
But yeah, no, there's nothing I'm really looking forward to. I just like seeing the new stuff.
Yeah. I'm pro new stuff as well. I'm looking forward to what we think's going to turn up, and hopefully more. Because I'm very pro ship, especially around the IAE. Yeah, tell us what you think in the comments below. Love to hear from you, whether you have questions or just your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Say goodbye, Zin.
Goodbye, Zin.
What is best in life? To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their women? No, of course not. It's NordVPN. I never saw Conan the Barbarian checking his bank balance and then watching some cool shows on Netflix, all while protecting his privacy and being super secure. To be honest, I can't even remember Conan wearing a shirt. Silly Conan. And now, a big old snake god's got your internet history. Good job. Don't be a Conan the Barbarian. Check out NordVPN. Links below for powerful discounts too. Every month we've been giving away a ship for Star Citizen, but for November, to celebrate the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2953, we are giving away a load of different ships, each to a different person. The Avenger Titan, the Drake Cutter, the C-8X Pisces, the Mustang Alpha, and the Nomad. All great starter ships, but also useful for any fleet. They all come with a game package and lifetime insurance. That's all you need to start playing Star Citizen. That's 5 prizes and 5 chances to win. Just comment on any of my videos made during November to be in for a chance of winning. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile in supporting the channel via Patreon or the join button under my videos and then becoming a channel member. Please consider joining those fabulous people as well. It allows us to make daily content for Star Citizen and Squadron 42, delving into all the news, drama, development info, and gameplay that these games have to offer. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.